What if I told you there's a creature in mythology that's been worshipped for over 7,000 years? Not feared, not hunted, worshipped. And half the planet still puts it on their flags, their temples, and their New Year celebrations. We're talking about the Chinese dragon, and before you picture some fire-breathing lizard guarding a pile of gold, forget everything the West taught you. Because the Chinese dragon, it's a completely different animal, literally. In Europe, dragons are monsters. They burn villages, eat princesses, and wait around for some knight to stab them. That's their whole personality. But in China, the dragon, called Long, is sacred. It doesn't destroy, it creates. It brings rain, controls the seasons, and symbolizes the balance between heaven and earth. The Western dragon is a villain. The Chinese dragon is basically a god. So when did this start? Try 7,000 years ago. Archaeologists found jade dragon carvings in Henan province, older than the pyramids of Egypt. Let me say that again. The Chinese were carving dragons before Egypt even started stacking rocks. That's not mythology, that's a civilization-defining obsession. But here's where it gets wild. During the Han Dynasty, a scholar named Wang Fu described exactly what a dragon looks like. And this thing is basically a remix of every animal you've ever seen. Head of a camel, ears of an ox, eyes of a demon, horns of a deer, neck of a snake, belly of a clam, claws of an eagle, paws of a tiger, and scales of a carp. I'm sorry, a clam. This creature has the belly of a clam. Who designed this? It sounds like someone threw a bag of animals down a staircase and said, yeah, that's a god now. But here's the genius. None of it was random. Every single body part had meaning. The horns meant authority. The scales meant protection. The claws meant creative power. Even the number of scales, 117, was calculated to represent the perfect balance of yin and yang. This wasn't mythology, this was philosophy wearing a costume. Now here's my favorite story, the legend of the Dragon Gate. According to Chinese folklore, there's a magical waterfall on the Yellow River. And if a common carp, a regular fish, manages to swim upstream and leap over this waterfall, it transforms into a dragon. A fish becomes a god. Think about that. In Greek mythology, the gods are born powerful. Nobody earns it. But in Chinese mythology, you can start as a fish and become a dragon if you work hard enough. That's not just a myth. That's the most motivational speech in human history delivered by a waterfall. And by the way, in China, the phrase, a carp leaping over the Dragon Gate, is still used today. It means passing a difficult exam or achieving something extraordinary. 7,000 years later, and this fish is still inspiring people. What have you accomplished today? Now let's talk power, because not all dragons are equal. Chinese mythology describes 4 dragon kings, each one ruling a different sea, east, south, west, and north. They controlled rainfall, storms, and every body of water on the planet. In a civilization built on rice farming, these 4 dragons were essentially the difference between life and death. Good harvest? Thank the Dragon Kings. Drought? Someone made a Dragon King angry. Flood? Someone made a Dragon King very angry. People built temples for them, performed rituals, made offerings. You don't do that for a fairy tale. You do that for something you genuinely believe controls whether your family eats this year. But here's where dragons stopped being just mythology and became politics. Starting from the Han Dynasty, Chinese emperors declared themselves descendants of dragons. The legendary Yellow Emperor, Huangdi, claimed actual dragon ancestry. Not metaphorically. He said his bloodline came from dragons. And by the 14th century, the 5-clawed dragon became exclusively reserved for the emperor. Only 5 claws, not 4, not 6, 5. If you were caught using a 5-clawed dragon symbol without being the emperor, let's just say you wouldn't need to worry about symbols anymore. The dragon wasn't mythology at this point. It was law. It was power. It was political theology. So how many types of dragons are there? 9. Because of course it's 9, the luckiest number in Chinese numerology. Tianlong, the celestial dragon, guardian of the heavens.
basically the CEO of dragons. Shenlong, the spiritual dragon, controls wind, clouds and rain, the one farmers prayed to. Fuzanglong, the dragon of hidden treasures, guards underground riches, the dragon with the best savings account. Dilong, the earth dragon, rules rivers and streams, the landlord of all waterways. Yinglong, the winged dragon, fast, powerful, and the only one with actual wings, the overachiever of the family. Qiulong, the horned dragon, considered one of the most powerful, the muscle of the group. Panlong, the coiling dragon, wise and adaptable, the one who reads books instead of fighting.
Huanglong, the yellow dragon, imperial symbol, basically the VIP dragon. And Tenglong, the ascending dragon, master of storms, the dramatic entrance specialist. 9 dragons, 9 purposes, 1 culture. But now, the big question, the one you've been waiting for. Did dragons actually exist? Here's something interesting. Historical texts from the Jin dynasty describe people finding dragon bones in Sichuan province. Massive bones, strange shapes, clearly not human. Modern science looked at Sichuan and said, oh yeah, that region is full of Jurassic period dinosaur fossils. So ancient Chinese people were probably finding T-Rex bones and saying, see, dragons were real. Can you blame them? If you found a 40-foot skeleton with claws and teeth and you'd never heard of dinosaurs, yeah, that's a dragon. Another theory? Early sightings of whales or giant marine creatures, especially in a culture that already connected dragons with water and weather. So, did dragons physically exist? Science says no. But did they culturally exist? For 7,000 years and counting. Today, the dragon dance during Lunar New Year is performed across the entire world. The Dragon Boat Festival honors traditions thousands of years old. Chinese dragons appear in films, video games, and art everywhere. They evolved, they adapted, but they never disappeared. And maybe that's the most dragon thing of all. A creature that was never real, but never stopped being alive. So what do you think? Could ancient fossil discoveries be the origin of dragon myths? Or is it something deeper, something humans needed to believe in? Tell me in the comments.